What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Chin here again today from Nothing But Facts. Hope you guys have been doing well. I hope you guys have been watching this series we've been doing. Took a little bit of a break this weekend, but we are right back into it today. This is the day. We are talking about the BYU Cougars, a team looking not only to win the Big 12, finally break through and win the Big 12, but also get to the college football playoff. They were very close last year. This is a really interesting group, and this is a really good team. I really like BYU. I've liked them for the past couple of years, and I'm gonna break down their schedule, see how they fare up in the Big 12, and see what happens. Let's jump right into this schedule. The breakdown, we'll jump into their schedule, and then we'll talk about some of the key players, key people on their team. First game of the season against Utah Tech, that's going to be easy W. Second game of the season against Arizona. Remember the name, Noah Fafita. We talked about him in my top quarterbacks in the country that we should be on the lookout for. Noah Fafita is that dude, and that game is on the road in Tucson. I expect Arizona to show out. They've done a really good job rebuilding after 2 years ago they had a losing season, and last year they went 7-5. I expect Arizona to really show up in this game, but I do think BYU is the better team. I got BYU winning. Then you have two road games against Colorado State and against TCU. Colorado State has a new head coach in Jim Mora. He's coming over from UConn, coming over now to the Rocky Mountain area. He's going to be head coach of Colorado State. That's a game, if you're BYU, you definitely want to pay attention to, because we know Jim Mora is a good coach. He has some players coming over from UConn too as well. So excited to see that matchup. I think that game's a lot closer than what people think, but I think BYU finds a way to win that game. Then they go on the road to Fort Worth against a TCU team led by presumably first-year starting quarterback, not like you say first-year starter, Jaden Craig. He transferred in over from Harvard, and he's presumably going to be the starter. Now, I like BYU in that game, but still, TCU, from everything I'm hearing, people are saying TCU is going to be a team that is going to surprise people in the Big 12 this year. So, again, that game could be a lot closer than what we think, but I still think BYU gets the win. Then you go against Iowa State. Iowa State also has a first-year head coach coming over from South Dakota State, I believe, or North Dakota State, or one of them FCS schools. There's still a lot of fresh faces at Iowa State. Matt Campbell's gone, right? The Cyclones are not the Cyclones anymore. I don't know much about that team right now. Still a lot of moving parts. Give me BYU to win that game. That team is 5-0 and setting up for an October 17th matchup against Notre Dame. Okay? This is a playoff game. Simply put, you lose this game, you win all your other games, you win the Big 12, you're in. You win this game, you lose a Big 12 game, you don't make the Big 12 championship, you're in the playoffs. So this is probably the most important game of BYU's season in the last 3 to 4 years. You can kiss the Texas Tech game last year goodbye. You can kiss the Big 12 championship rematch against Texas Tech goodbye. This game against Notre Dame is the most important game, I think, in the last 5 to 10 years in the history of BYU football. They need to win that game. If they have any shot at, we're going to go through that schedule. If they lose a conference game, they have that Notre Dame win to hang on to. But I don't think so. I broke down this Notre Dame team. I think Marcus Freeman's team is 100% motivated to show the country, to show the world that they are a playoff team, that they shouldn't have been left out last year, although they had 2 combined losses by 4 points. One of the teams they lost to was Texas A&M. The other team they lost to was Miami, that got to the national championship. I like Notre Dame in this game. I think BYU suffers their first loss of the season. We're looking at 5-1. Then you're going on the road against Central Florida. Looking to pick up steam with Scott Frost. I like BYU in this game. Then you have a home game against Arizona State. Okay. I really need people to understand that Arizona State is going to be a competitive group this year. They were competitive last year. They're going to be competitive this year. You bring in a guy like Omarion Miller on the outside. Kyle Bolin, who presumably is going to be the starter, he comes in from Kentucky. I like Arizona State. I think they're going to make this game muddy, but I do think BYU finds a way to win this game. You're looking at 7-1. Then you go on the road against Utah. Morgan Scalley, first-year head coach at Utah, right? He has been the former He has been the defensive coordinator at Utah for God knows how long. He was the head coach in waiting. He's now the head coach at Utah. This is going to be a major game. I think it's the Holy War, right? The Holy War is what they call that. I like Utah in this game. I like Devon Dampier. I like his dynamicism as a quarterback. I think Rice-Eccles Stadium is just a little bit too loud for BYU. I think BYU loses this game. I'll take Utah to win. Then you go against Baylor. A lot of questions coming about Dave Aranda. He's presumably under the hot seat, right? I can remember that Big 12 championship when they played Oklahoma State, and they were literally a play away from getting to the playoffs. Oh, they won that. They won that game. Excuse me. I remember they beat Oklahoma State. So I like BYU in that game. Then you go on the road against Kansas. Now, still a lot of questions about Lance Leopold and this Kansas team. There's some questions about the quarterback position. I like BYU in this game. And then you finish the season at home against a Scott Satterfield-led Cincinnati team. I like BYU in this game. So assumably, we talk about this schedule. This is a BYU team that I truly believe goes 10-2. Like, I truly believe this team goes 10-2 because there's talent there. But at the same time, there are still a lot of X factors. The Big 12 is going to be a good league. I think people need to understand that. The Big 12 is going to be a great league. And BYU is going to be one of them teams. BYU is going to be in the heat of those conversations. We understand that. At the same time, I can't overlook a Notre Dame. I can't overlook on the road against Utah. I just can't overlook that. I just can't. So I think 10-2 is reasonable. 9-3, maybe Arizona State, maybe that TCU game, maybe that's the Jaden Craig coming out party for him. But I think 10-2 gets you there. And this is a good roster. This is a really good roster. Kalani Sitake, in my opinion, the head coach of BYU, he's one of the top 25 coaches in America. Like, simply put, I don't care what you say. He is a top 25 coach in America. How he gets BYU ready to play, how these guys are motivated, how he has taken BYU and they are in national championship conversations. They are nationally ranked. They are a physical bunch. They are sending dudes to the NFL. This dude knows how to coach football. Simple. Like, it's just, I don't like doing too much. He's a football coach. And he's going to get his guys ready to go. There was not a game last year outside the Texas Tech game where BYU was out-physicaled. You go throw the games on, there was not one where this team was out-physicaled. They're like that. They are a tough team. They are a very physical team. And they got guys in the backfield like LJ Martin that will let you know what's up. We talked about LJ Martin on the top running backs in the country that you should pay attention to. You need to pay attention to number 4. You need to pay attention. You got to know where number 4 is at all times. As a linebacker, as a defender, he will make you pay. He's a big back, 6'2", 225. He will lower the pads, and he will run you over. That's LJ Martin. That's his game. He's not going to do too much. He's going to run you over. And he's explosive enough to have the breakaway speed to get, to make the play. So this is a good offense. And their quarterback, Bear Bachmeier, again, the numbers are not going to wow you, but he started as a freshman. Okay. And there were some throws I saw Bear Bachmeier made last year that were just absolutely unreal, that were really good. The freshman quarterback class, Bear Bachmeier, JKS, like, that was a solid, Bryce Underwood, honorable mention. He did all that without a quarterbacks coach. Like, this was a solid freshman class, super solid. And Bear Bachmeier played a solid role in that. Okay. I want to talk about some of the weapons. JoJo Phillips is going to be a weapon. I don't want to speak too much on the Parker Kingston situation because I'm not too well versed on it, but just go ahead and just do your research on Parker Kingston and how that situation is unfolding. Not too sure whether he's going to be a part of the team or not. But JoJo Phillips is a big receiver, 6'5", 205 pounds. This guy is going to be, I believe, number 1 target for Bear Bachmeier, and his brother too. His brother is also on the team. Tiger, he's a wide receiver. But this defensive side is going to be really fun to watch. Like, Cade, forgive me if I say his last name, Cade Ulavi. Excuse me, Cade. I hate messing with people's names. All jokes aside, I don't like that. This dude balled at Cal last year. Like, he balled. Like, I forgot what game I was watching. He finished with like 15 tackles. He is a tackling machine, and he's going to be inserted in that middle linebacker position because he hits hard. It's a business decision when you come up and try and get tackled by number 4. He's that good. He's as good as advertised. So I like this team, and Aaron Roderick is their OC. He's done a good job. I really like this BYU offense. It's almost like like if you're playing NCAA, like, go to multiple, like that sort of, so many different formations. They go pistol, they'll go 5 wide, they'll go power ride. You'll see so many different things. Like, they'll go under the center. It's a pro style attack. It is. I mean, it's a pro style attack. But Aaron Roderick, there's some wrinkles, there's some things he does this offense that just makes this offense look good. So again, I like BYU to be a 10-2 team. 10-2 might not make you in the playoffs. If you beat Notre Dame on October 17th, you can just kiss everything I'm saying out the window. Everything I'm saying out the window right now. If they beat Notre Dame on October 17th, everything I'm saying here makes no sense, because they will be in the playoffs. They will be in the playoffs if they have one loss and they're left out their conference championship game, whatever the case may be, because the Big 12 does it by the best 2 records. So let's just say there's an undefeated Arizona and an undefeated Texas Tech, and you have a BYU there with a 1 loss, and they have wins against Notre Dame, and you don't think a 1-loss BYU team with the win against Notre Dame at home is not going to make the playoffs? You must be drunk out of your mind. But again, it's a really good roster. They have a physical running back in LJ Martin who can move the sticks. He's going to put his head down. He's going to drop his shoulders, run you over. They have a big quarterback in Bear Bachmeier who can make throws. He's going to expect it to take his game to the next level this year. They have guys in JoJo Phillips, who I believe is going to be wide receiver 1. Obviously, with the whole Parker Kingston situation going out on, whatever the case may be. They have a really good linebacker coming over from Cal, and Cade, he is going to be a dog. They have a really good OC in Aaron Roderick, but at the same time, they have Kalani Sitake, who is one of the top 25 coaches in all of college football. Simply put, I will say this again, he is a top 25 coach in college football. The job he does at BYU, to recruit at BYU, is hard. I know it is. It's hard. It must be hard. And they are 10-win season, 9-win season, 11-win season, 10-win season. He's just racking up 10-win seasons. He just gets it done. So we'll see what happens, but really looking forward to this BYU team, seeing how they take the next step. They're hungry. They want that Big 12 championship. They want to get to the college football playoff. We'll see what happens. Keep liking, keep commenting, keep sharing. Love you guys. God bless. Peace.